Here we go. We're live with the first episode of Performance, Property and Mindset, joined by Harry Takis. Fresh off the plane, mate. Where have you been the last little while?
I've been all over the joint, to be honest with you. First in Singapore, then Japan, then Dubai, back home for a week, which was unexpected, and it's nice to be home and back off to Singapore on Sunday.
Yeah, nice. So the couple of tournaments there. Do you want to talk about the tournaments, how you went and the different conditions, etc.?
Yeah, so the first one was the World Amateur Teams, so the 3 best Aussies. The team finished second, which was great. I played all right, finished 25th out of 150 maybe, and then flew straight from there to Japan for the Japan Open, which was a pretty cool experience. First national open I've been able to play, and made the cut on the number, had to hold a little 5-footer to play the weekend, and then moved up about 30 spots on the weekend to 40th. So that was definitely an experience and something I'll look back on for a while. And then from there it was straight to Dubai, 12-hour flight, and played the Asia Pacific Amateur, which was close but not close enough. Finished 4th, lost by a few, had an unfortunate third round, but other than that, yeah, it was a great experience. It's awesome to be home.
When you go into a tournament and it's a long tournament, 4 days, can be 4 days, etc., what are you thinking about on day one? Are you thinking about like just trying to play the course, see what the course is like, and how does that mindset change through the actual progress of the competition?
I think there's a famous saying that you can't win it in the first round, but you can lose it. So you're always just trying to get off to a steady start, trying to play in a little more conservative than you might do in the final round when you're a few shots back, kind of hitting the middle of the greens and just keeping your way around the golf course without doing anything kind of dumb, which I've gotten very good at. I seem to play well in first rounds just because I think I'm a lot calmer. But yeah, as the tournament progresses, obviously the game plan can change sometimes depending on where you are in the field, especially, a few holes to go, you're kind of going at every flag if you're a couple back, whereas if you're in the lead, you're hitting to the middle of every green. So it's all kind of dependent.
And the data and where you are at in the leaderboard, etc. What's your approach when it comes to that? Are you just playing your own race? You're playing your own game versus actually going, actually I'm 2 shots back, or you got to do this one to catch up for that person who's on the 17th?
Yeah, I think, for example, in Dubai, I was a few back with 5 or 6 to play, and then it gets to a point where you're kind of running out of holes. So at that point, it's like, okay, we're hitting we're going at every flag stick. Like, if you hit it in the bad stuff, you hit in the bad stuff. There's nothing I can do about it. Like, I just got to try and make as many birdies as I can late. But like to start off the last round, you're kind of just trying to, steady way around, get off to a decent start, and then see where that puts you. So I think it's definitely dependent. Like, if you have a 6-shot lead, you're obviously not going to go at every stick. You can try and hit the middle of the green and pie your way around the golf course and without making a stupid error, but sometimes that can also come back to bite you if you play too conservative. So there's a lot of strategy.
Yeah, and then we're here talking about backing yourself when it comes to like a particular hole and things don't go your way. How hard is it to pick yourself up and then to keep going? Because the back 9 in round 3 when you had a bit of a bad hole, like you really stepped up to the plate. What was going through your head there?
Yeah, it was. I'd never had that before. I lost a ball I thought was going to be in a pretty good spot, and then the next one I hit off the tee got stuck in a palm tree. So that was kind of an unusual one to go from tied for the lead to 12th or whatever it put me in. But I had a really good caddy on the bag last week, a mate of mine. He's just a friend, doesn't really know too much about golf, but he kind of, kept my head on my shoulders and told me that, I think he thought I was the best player there. So he was like, you can still come back and win. So that kind of helped me knowing that I wasn't out of it. It was just, it was just going to be a little harder. So, I think it's more about believing that you can actually overcome that rather than just, trying. Like, you can try and not believe that you can actually do it. And I think that was the biggest hurdle that I've gotten over.
The skill level versus the mental energy and the mental strength. I mean, you must be completely exhausted after playing 3 tournaments in your head. How important is it to keep strong in your head?
Yeah, I think it's probably that 99% of great golfers are great because of their head, not because of their golf swing. You can go and watch a lot of people at your local golf club who would swing it better than some tour pros, but the only reason they're good is because what's between their ears. And I think that's what kind of separates good players from great players. Like the guys who make a very good living on the tour compared to the guys that are struggling to make the cuts every week is like, how can they, even if they're not swinging it good or they're hitting it bad, how can they still post a score? How can they get it around and not beat themselves up too much?
People talk about high performance and high performance tips and whatnot. In regards to what you're thinking around what high performance means to you, can you share some tips that you do, maybe some daily practices or some things that you think make you the best golfer you can possibly be?
I think putting yourself in pressure situations as often as you can is probably the thing that helped me the most. Like making your practice full of pressure. Like I practice with a group of guys at school, whether it's at school with my college team or when I'm back home with the pros at Royal Queensland. There's always a pressure, there's always a game, there's always a consequence. I think that's been the biggest, thing that's helped me out over the years, doing that over and over again. And I think learning to regulate your emotions is something that I've had to work on my whole life, especially on a golf course, because you care. You're trying to do something great. You're obviously going to care, and that's been something that I've gotten a lot better at, as I think I showed last week. I think if you can regulate your emotions and not let external things affect your internal things, then it's going to be pretty good.
You mentioned your caddy around you. How important was it having a good team around you through that time, about organising things and also just being in your ear and just being someone to talk to?
Yeah, he was massive. I play golf with, his name's Damon Lowry, he plays at Virginia Golf Club. He's just a happy hacker on a Saturday, but I've been good friends with him for years. And, he just kind of boosted my ego pretty much during the week. And I think that's something that a caddy has to do a lot of the time, is try and make you believe you're better than you are sometimes, just to try and get you over the line. If you had someone in your ear telling you you were no good, you're probably going to play no good. So I think that was massive for me. And, my parents have always been very supportive and the whole team around me has always been great. So, yeah.
And, mate, when it comes to Nuestar, you've known the team here for a little while. Do you want to talk about the relationship that you've got with Nuestar and maybe some news around your new role?
Yeah, it's been great. Wilco and the team at Nuestar have been awesome to me since I've kind of come on board, and they've started to help me out. There's clients of theirs that have been kind enough to reach out to me and kind of offer me some words of wisdom, which has been greatly appreciated. It's nice that like a local sort of company has come on board, and nice that I can catch up whenever I'm home. And it's kind of a family vibe within the company. I feel like it's small and very tight knit, which I really like. I've never kind of been I have a very tight knit kind of team myself, so it's really nice to be a part of.
And what's your thoughts, your personal thoughts on property and investments moving forward?
My parents have been in my ear my whole life about property, and the Brisbane market has obviously gone through the roof the last few years. So I think they don't teach you much about it in school. So it's definitely nice to have someone to talk to about that sort of stuff, and hopefully when you make it big in golf, you can invest in some property yourself.
Yeah, no, for sure. And mate, coming back home, how does it feel?
Awesome. I love being home. I always miss it when I'm at school. I was supposed to fly back to school after Dubai, but I made a late decision to change my flight here, and I couldn't be happier to be back. And
what's the plan now for you in regards to, is it going back to San Diego State? Is that where you? I
play the Singapore Open next week, and then I'll fly back to school after that, and then I'm there until Christmas.
And mate, you're at San Diego State University playing golf over there. Do you want to give the listeners out there a little bit of a glimpse around what that looks like when it comes to academic, but also the scheduling of your golf?
Yeah, so it's pretty full on. I wasn't really expecting it to be as full on as it was, or as it is. It's kind of the daily thing is kind of get up. We have gym 4 days a week at 6 a.m. So walk across the road from my college dorm to the gym, do that, and then go see a recovery person or a trainer as such, do some work there for half an hour, go get breakfast, have a shower, change, go to classes till 10:30, 11, and then straight from there to the golf course, and normally there till sunset, and then eat, sleep, repeat. It's pretty full on.
Yeah, right. And what's the college life like? Is it literally like it's pretty intense? You meet some new friends as well?
Yeah, the way I would describe American colleges is exactly like the movies. You can definitely go down a different path if you get in the mix with the wrong people. I think that's been a massive thing for me. There's a lot of things pulling you in different directions, and you kind of need to know when to say yes and when to say no. You have to say a lot. You have to say no a lot in college. As tough as it is sometimes to say no, you definitely have to. And I think if you were to go do all the other extracurriculars that come with US college in San Diego, then I probably wouldn't be any good at golf. So it's definitely about trying to get your priorities straight and know what you want to do. And for me, it's golf, so I'm trying to do everything.
You having fun playing golf?
Do I have fun playing golf? Yeah. No, it's always what I've wanted to do since I was around 10 or 11. I've always wanted to be a pro, and I think the last couple of months of traveling and kind of getting to experience what it's like being a pro overseas has made me want to do it more. And
in regards to, like, are you a goal setter? Like, do you have something in mind, like that where you want to be, and when even in these tournaments, like, before the tournament, do you think, oh, I wouldn't mind making a cut, or wouldn't mind finishing in top 20, or how do you think about that?
Yeah, I've always set goals for, like, going into a week. For example, like last week, I wanted to win. Obviously, I didn't achieve that, but I've kind of set one long-term goal. For the last few years, I've had the same goal, and it's to play the Olympics at my home golf club in 2032. The Olympics is obviously at Royal Queensland. That's where I play my golf, and I think if you're playing in that tournament, you've probably done everything you want to do in the game. So I thought that was a pretty good goal, and I've kind of said that for the last couple of years, and I think that would be pretty damn cool.
Yeah, and then do you get much downtime yourself to kind of think about other things besides golf?
I haven't the last little bit, but yeah, you do sometimes. Like when I go back, we're going to be in the off season, so we don't have any tournaments, so it's going to kind of be full grind on schoolwork because I've missed a few weeks in a row now. But yeah, no, I get time to think about other stuff, but I don't really do much else.
Yeah, what are you studying?
Business management right now.
Yeah, nice. When you were overseas, did you keep an eye on what was happening in the Brisbane sporting ecosystem during September?
Yeah, there was definitely some late nights. I watched the Lions grand final. I was actually on a plane to Singapore during the Broncos grand final, which was very unfortunate. But I got off the plane to about 1 million texts from my best mate who's a diehard Broncos fan. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty amazing what's happened in Brisbane sport over the last couple of years.
And mate, the Singapore Open's coming up, and the team at Nuestar is going to be along there to cheer you on.
Yeah, it'll be pretty cool. They're there on the weekend, so I have 100% intention of playing the weekend, which will be cool. It's always nice to see some familiar faces when you're on the other side of the world, and I think you don't get that as much as you'd like traveling by yourself and doing all those sort of things. So yeah, seeing some familiar faces outside the ropes will be cool.
Are you going to get a little nervous when you sort of maybe, towards the end of the back end, maybe you need to get a couple of birdies to make the cut?
I'm hoping I'm not in that position, but if so, yeah, I'll probably be a little nervous.
Just because the boys and girls are there, just for the weekend, yeah?
Yeah, my whole family's there too. So
do you get nervous?
The trip. Oh, everyone gets nervous. The last few holes in Japan, couldn't stop shaking, to be honest with you. I mean, if you're a pro and you miss the weekend, there's no point you being there. You don't make $1. So I'm an amateur, I don't make $1 anyway, but I mean, if you're going to travel to the other side of the world, you kind of want to make the most of it. And I think people say trying to make the cut is the same, or if not harder than winning. So, because you obviously don't have your best stuff if you're trying to make the weekend. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, I get nervous. I get nervous on the first tee. I get nervous if it's a big golf tournament. Everyone does. I think if you don't, there's something wrong with you.
What do you do to alleviate some of those nerves? Is there a pattern? Do you do a routine, a structure?
Normally when I'm nervous, like coming down the stretch, I drink a lot of water to try and help me a little bit. And also, like, I kind of remind myself what's the worst that can happen. Like, I'm not in a wheelchair. Like, I'm not fighting for my life. It's around a golf. I think that's a massive one, is kind of perspective. Like, say I miss this putt, I'm still going to go home. My parents are still going to love me. I'm still going to have people that care about me. So, I mean, in a real world perspective, it's not that big of a deal.
Mate, that's excellent. One final question around the sort of the aspects of business and sport as well. There's a lot of similarities in terms of mindset and thinking and long-term thinking and planning and teamwork, etc. Why are you excited to work with the Nuestar crew and the team moving forward?
I think because, like, you can tell they have a genuine care for me as a person and as a player. I don't like to get involved with people who don't really do things for the right reasons. I think I've come across a lot of people in my life who try and pull me in directions just for their own benefit, and I don't really. I'm not a massive fan of that. And, Wilco and the whole team have been amazing ever since, I first met them, and they genuinely care. Like, they stay up late, watch me play last week, and, I get texts all the time. So, yeah, I'm pretty grateful to have the opportunity.
Yeah, I'm fortunate also to be on those WhatsApp groups. It's awesome. It's brilliant. Excellent, mate. I'll catch up. Yeah, thanks, mate.
Thank you again.